similar with the Reserve Bank in Sydney when we were doing the counterfeit money for them. That was another story.
Yeah, breaking the molds at least so they cannot.
Yeah, it was. We had to sign our life away on that one.
I believe.
But it was interesting, the development of those techniques. And there were so many. We did 6 colour, 7 colour, high fidelity printing, separations. We also produced, the bar mats that they had in bars. Like I think today you've probably seen with Coca-Cola on it, or in Australia anyway. Every bar would have these mats on them. Well, it was a very expensive process to produce them because it was like a rubber backing, and then you had the felt, and then they had to silk screen them one colour at a time. And so we said there's got to be a way that you can use an ink that encapsulates, and like not an explosive, but as it heats, it goes poof. And so the ink company in Sydney that we're working with, little backyard concern, they came up with this ink, made 4-colour process, and we'd print paper. We'd make the separations, and we'd print paper, and it would go through a thermal process, and they would print the mats with this paper. It was like that had a negative type image on it, placed on, and it would go right through the felt. I mean, you'd have to get to the rubber to remove the colour. And then that went into silk screening, shirts, and a whole lot of stuff.
And you could scale the production.
Yeah, well, they were doing it on rotary presses and continuous line paper, and it's just the same way they do wallpaper. Yeah.
People similar to yourself that are in Australia, maybe they're pensioners, maybe they own property, and a lot of people fall into this cycle of this is how life is, this is what I'm going to be doing to the end of my days. If you had any advice for them that, all it takes is, your one advice to that one person over there, what advice could you give them to at least put that first foot forward and take that leap? Because a lot of people, they just get so stuck in their systems, and there's other options.
Yeah, they do. So many people say to us, it's okay for you. I don't know why we're any different than anyone else. We've got children, we've got friends, we've got neighbours, we've got the property and the dogs and the whole thing. So it was a big step, I think, in a sense, but it was wanting change. I knew I couldn't change Australia, but I could change me. And so the best thing I could do was to get rid of everything that was going to be a worry. We were growing old staying in Australia, and I just figured that another 12 months, that'd probably be the end of it. I had to get out and do new things, and I'm sure that anybody that's listening at our age would think the same thing. The future is an old people's retirement home, living down the back of the kids in one of those mini houses things, or an old caravan somewhere. There's a whole life, whether it's Thailand or wherever. I mean, I can't recommend Thailand more heavily than what, we live here. We think it's fabulous. But of course, it's up to an individual to decide where they want to go. But get rid of everything that can be a worry, and put the money somewhere where it's not going to be taken away from you, somewhere where it's actually going to gain, not lose its value. Everybody knows that $1 in 2000, 1910 was worth $1. I think it's 4 cents or 5 cents or something now, that same dollar. That's inflation.